All right, we're live.
Oh shit, really?
Yes, sir.
Hold on. Let me look. Oh, yep, we are.
Although, it's fucking... it is immediately, fucking up.
Oh, it's just going?
So we'll just take that off real
You
quick.
have it on slideshow mode or something?
Yep, I thought I put it in... I thought I put it in not automatic, but I guess that is not what happened.
Oh, you're just straight up a screen recorder, huh?
Well, I got a bunch of different ones, but for this slideshow, I just shoved it in there, you know?
Very brave of you.
Just, it wouldn't be a draft stream if there wasn't some technical difficulties, you know?
That's Gen 9 draft in a nutshell. I'm just gonna share it to a few places.
Don't look.
Dude, you got so much stuff going on.
Okay, I'm hoping
Oh, it's just going.
that will fix it.
This is really only the third season of UPA? That's crazy.
Really is. Crazy stuff, I know.
What's up, gang? Yo, what's good, Cahoots? Also, if you could, you should make me a mod so I can like post everyone's link in the chat.
True.
As it goes on. What's up, gang?
What's going on, Cahoots? How you doing, buddy? I also don't know how to make people mods.
I think you just hold on. I think I got the type.
Okay, and then I can do it from here. Gotcha.
I think so. Yeah, the three dots. I think.
Making some breakfast, bro. I woke up about 45 minutes ago. Did not make breakfast. Did not even acquire anything.
I also was
It was a
gonna eat,
mistake.
but then I forgot. I woke up with like a hangover, but like not a hangover, just a headache, I guess.
Woke up with one of those sober hangovers. It was weird. Chorin, you know, everybody's got to do some chorin sometimes. Let me get some music in here too. That'll probably help. Nope, not that one. Looks like it's Uber Eats time. Yep. Time to pay $50 for one meal, you know?
Never. I would never. That's such a ripoff.
It does suck. But you gotta
I was
do it
around
sometimes.
someone who Uber Eated one time, and they were rich. And I saw the bill, and I was like, "What the hell? We just got 10 tacos, and it was like $100."
Damn. And they were Jack in the Box tacos.
I don't remember where they were, but they were good.
If you typed in the chat, I did not see it, by the way.
Oh, okay. Hi, Sheldon.
It me. Add as managing moderator. There it is.
I'm a managing moderator. Let's fucking
Boom.
go.
You on the
Gee.
team, dog.
Gee, hold on. I'm gonna keep doing it. There we go. One of them's blue. There we go. Now they're at. All right,
Nice and blue. Look at you. You got a little wrench. You can go work on some fucking cars and
Hell
stuff.
yeah. They call me Q the Builder around here. Nisha Quaza channel.
Bob who? Oh, by the way, dude, where are my manners? It's time. All right. Hopefully this music isn't too loud. It's on 1, so we're gonna hope.
I can't hear anything. Hold on, I can unmute it.
Pro tip, by the way, cowboy hats are not comfortable. If you guys were ever wondering, this is a struggle.
I always wondered, and I also always assumed.
It's a struggle every time.
Oh yeah, it's pretty quiet. It's also hella delayed, which is sometimes okay.
I think it's still delayed from. I used to do battles on streams.
Oh, true. That makes sense. Yeah, you can't change that unless you unalive anyway. So.
Oof.
That's the price you gotta pay.
That's a big price. Okay, so start going over this. I got some notes, dude. I fucking stayed up late last night making notes, doing stuff.
Notes.
I got all the transactions. I got a couple notes on everybody's teams. I have a list of everyone's speed tiers.
Oh my god.
I have some power rankings, kind of.
Oh, some self-imposed power rankings. Okay.
I made a system where I assigned a point value to 6 different aspects of everyone's team, and then ran everyone's team through the thing, and then organized them by who has the most points. So tried to do like as unbiased as possible. But
if I had to guess, if I'm just looking at the teams, I think Jay's is probably up there. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm gonna remember that you said that.
Okay, and I feel like yours is top 5 at the very least. Your team is kind of nutty.
I do like my team. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so cowboy hat is uncomfortable if the cowboy hat is uncomfortable. It's too small. See, it's like a hard hat. It's not like a felt hat. So when my hair's a little bit longer, it has nowhere to go in there. You know. If you get like I think there's supposed to be a wintertime and a summertime hat. This is definitely a summertime hat.
It's a seasonal cowboy hat.
Usually I'll have a haircut, but you just gotta pack as much fro into it as you can, you know. Okay, so this is UPA Season 3 stream draft, the whole thing. I'm Shay. I'm running it this season. I'm joined by Q, the Costa Rican, who is adminning, and then also, what did it say on the thing? You're a managing moderator.
I'm a managing moderator. Underpaid managing moderator.
Managing moderator, dude. For pro bono managing moderator, you know?
Yeah. I do it for the exposure.
Get a bigger hat. Dude, I'll just get a smaller head. You know, that's probably
easier.
Hat.
What's that? About 10 gallons was all you needed. I don't know how many more you could fit on there.
Right. I've worn it to one concert and then only for videos. I don't know if it's worth the purchase anymore, you know? But, I guess we can go ahead and go to the next slide. This is UPA, blah, 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 blah. And these are Season 3 coaches, even though I'm blocking one of them. You can see Razors down there, too, you know? But we got Q in the Chicago Pulse, Mario in the Happy Valley Hariyama's, but
Make
Iron
sure you
Hands.
get that one right.
Yeah, that one's... I even paused for a second. My brain was like, I don't know, man. Then we got Talon with the Atlanta Braviaries, Big Time Brownie with the Green Bay Yampers, Jack, a.k.a. Gray, a.k.a. Gray V, with the Vancouver Titans, and Just Lucas's logo is fucking sick, dude. The Paradise Protocol.
Yeah, that's probably easy best logo.
That shit is cool.
12. Oh, well, you really are blocking Razor Club.
Yeah, he's completely just fucking... Then you got me with Dallas Starmies, JV with the Atlanta Victinis, Hazel with that new shiny logo for the New Orleans Noivern, Cahoots with the Hawaiian Como-Os, Seth, who didn't get his logo made in time, so he's going back to the Al Bundy Bisharp, and then you got Razor Claw and the Galaxy Brain Glycopods.
Not to ruin immersion or anything, but the doc does have him as the Kentucky Keldeo, just saying.
Yeah, what are you going to do, you know? That was a placeholder anyway. It's supposed to be for his one that he was getting. So I guess it's just going to be the placeholder for his old one. You know?
Al Bundy. There we go.
Yep. So, we're just going to go... There's two... What's it called? So there's two pools of drafts. 6 people
Divisions,
each.
if you will.
Divisions, even. Thank you, managing moderator. And we'll start with the Violet division, because that's the order I did the slides in. And the first one is going to be It Me, Ya Boy.
Oh, let's go.
So, one thing to note about this draft is since we did 6-person pools, these teams are pretty freaking borked. There was more than enough mons to go around for everybody, and it kind of shows because everyone's got a pretty busted team. There's stuff that went undrafted that I've seen go first or second round in other people's drafts. You know,
dude, in the Arm Rouge division, no one picked up Gren. Kind of crazy.
Not a single Gren.
It's just chilling.
Not a single Gren could be found. So, I was first pick. I took Fluttermane. Hadn't used it yet. Seemed pretty cool. And then when it came back to me, Roaring Moon was still available. And you're not gonna not take Roaring Moon, dude.
And Fluttermane, that duo is just insane.
I mean,
I can't believe those are like 1 and 2s in most other leagues. Like,
for
it's kinda
sure,
wild.
I would have expected Roaring Moon to go top 3. People had other plans, you know. I also told myself I wasn't gonna take Scizor because I used it in BBR and made it my Terramon, but with those 2 Pokemon, it just kind of made sense. So I went ahead and took it. You know, what are you gonna do? And Slowking, I figured I need at least 1 defensive Pokemon. You need 1, I think. So I went ahead and took Slowking. With Chilling Reception, it'll be a nice little pivot. Then they got Palmot, who I haven't used or even played against or even really done anything with, but I figured if I'm just drafting offense and I got some broken threats, how about I'll just play recklessly with it and then I'll bring one of them back to life and they can fight it again, you know?
Seems kind of broken.
Why bother switching out when I can just let you kill me and then I'll just bring it right back in?
He's also kind of strong too, so not
he do be
entirely
hitting.
relying on Revival Blessing. But
And people's teams, not to spoil anything, but they do be looking pretty strong and offensive across the board. So I think Strong Priority will be pretty useful over the course of the season. So Scizor and like Iron Fist boosted Mach Punch from Palmont will probably be pretty useful. Grafaiai, another guy I haven't used or known or anything, but the ability to set Sun with Prankster's nice. Being able to stop hazards and parting shot around all seemed pretty cool. Also, you do need a grounded poison. And I also would have did like a normal type with my apparent ghost spam so that people can't just lock into, you know, Scarf Shadow Ball and do whatever. How do you get those top 2? Blind luck. I don't know what happened.
The league.
Just
he fixed the league.
I also did rig the league. Yeah. Then Totoscruel, I originally had taken Sandy Shocks, realized that was a bad pick because I may or may not have been on mushrooms, and then fixed it the next day with a transaction, so we got a Rapid Spinner along with a ground type.
That's ironic. You were on mushrooms and then didn't draft the mushroom, then came back and drafted the mushroom.
Well, when you're on the mushrooms, the last thing you want is more mushrooms, you know?
I guess that's
can't be doing
true,
that.
yeah.
I was like, I need some down-to-earth stuff. I need I need a little guy that runs all over the place. Spidops was 1 point, so I got him just for hazards and throwing that ass in a circle.
That is the steal of the draft. 1 point Spot Ops.
I think so.
That thing is insane.
Also, you can't really see him over my hat, but we got Beartic over there. I figured if I'm going to be chilling receptioning out most of the time, why not have a Slush Rush guy? Plus, Mamoswine's not in the game, so I made him in the game, basically. That'll be fun.
Beartic is a poor man's Mamoswine.
Pretty much. Poor Mamoswine. Then we got Stonejourner. I'll move my hat once again. Just had an extra point. Why not get the Dorian face, you know?
It's good.
And all in all, it's I think it's a pretty me team. I think if you looked at this team, you'd be like, I know whose team that is, without it being labeled for you, you know. But yeah, it looks fun, and I'm excited to use it. Should be pretty nifty.
It was one of the teams that I was like, okay, you know what? I'm actually glad I'm not in the Cerulege division anymore because I don't ever want to fight that team.
My speed deers go 135, 119, 110, 105, 100, 85, 70, 65, 50, 35, and 30. So they're actually pretty good. I don't remember that being a big factor in drafting. I think it just kind of worked out, you know? So that's nice. And that's going to be my team. Let's continue on to pick number 2, which is Cahoots and the Hawaiian Komos.
Cahoots I actually like Cahoots' team better than my team. Fun fact, spoilers, we both drafted Dragapult. And his team, I think, is a little bit more like what's the word? Like synergized,
Well-rounded, maybe.
Well-rounded. That's the one. Well-rounded. But yeah, it's pretty fire. Dragapult and Iron Treads, pretty good. Dragon Steel Core, and then he added a Fairy type, one of the only Fairy types in the game. I'll mind you, Azu, and also one of the best ones. It's just really good defensive mon for some high level threats out there like the Warring Moon on the other side. We won't tell Shay about that though.
Don't.
And then he got Volcarona as well. Like, what the hell? Like how did he get these 4? It's his broken league. That's what happened. He just got this top 4, can show up every week, and it doesn't matter if his opponent knows, because guess what? They're going to be fucking sweeping still. So it's all good. And then he got a screens user next. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, he got Grimmsnarl, which just kind of fits the team pretty well, you know?
Which is the other Fairy type in the generation.
Why not have 2?
But the more defensive one. And then Gallade, who there was a little bit of an argument before the draft. It should be costing more points. And you know what? Didn't stop Cahoots from taking it. And it's right there. Sharpness is kind of crazy. It made Sacred Sword stronger than close combat. And now you don't have any drawback. It's kind of wild. And then it looks like he wanted to get some spinners. Because you don't want to always rely on Iron Treads for spinning. You know what I'm saying? In a hazard stacking league. The homie Serena was right there. Who is also a Terra Captain. Grassfire Serena. Kind of hot. All I know.
Skull Villain who, dude?
Skull Villain who? This is, what is she? Skull Hero? I don't know.
Skull Hero, yeah.
And then I got the eel, the one of the best electric types in the game, because it has no weaknesses. Not a weakness this eel has. It only has offensive prowess, especially because he also made it a Terra Captain with the Steel Terra. I don't know what that's about, but hey, we'll find out, won't we? And then Lycanroc, which is a proud member of the Soul Link. What's it called? But spoilers, he did die. And then Muck and Vigoroth to round it off. I'm assuming he was just like, you know what? We just it's just, we got extra points. Let's use them on something. And with that being said, I guess let's get him in here because he is eager to talk about his team.
Cahoots, what's up, buddy?
He was so eager that he's speechless.
Wow. The nerves set in.
Hello.
There he is.
2. Hello.
Howdy, partner.
What's up, guys? I don't know what's with my earphones. It just won't connect to my voice.
We can hear you now.
Yeah, get my earphones out. What's up, guys?
Oh.
So, Cahoots, the people want to know at home, what was up with the Muck and Vigoroth?
The people need to know.
Well, I had 4 points left at the end of the draft. And I was like, okay, I need to fill out my my typings. And I just don't like Toxic Spike. So I was like, okay, I need a Grounded Poison, and Muck is very defensive, good poison, and I get Toxic and Toxic Spike for myself. So I was interested. I've never used Muck. Being a Gen 1 Mon, I've never made one. I've never played with one in a draft. So I was like, the time is now.
You tell me you never made no Muck before.
Huh?
Sorry.
I know Alolan Muck is really dope. I know nothing about Cantonian Muck, though. I assume it doesn't do it as well. That's all I know.
I think when you got 4 points left, you need a Grounded Poison. It's not a bad pick at all. That thing is a special sponge.
Exactly. I was actually really surprised on the amount of coverage it has as well. Like, it gets a lot of the elemental punches. It gets a bunch of moves that I didn't think Muck would have access to, so that was exciting. I love the hazards it gets is really important, and yeah, like you said, just very defensive for no reason, which is nice. And Vigoroth, I just needed something that is decently fast. I don't know if I had another Mon in the 90 speed tiers, and Vigoroth was sitting and chilling at one point.
Shay can tell you.
I do have the speed tiers written out for everybody. That is one thing I can be telling.
I think the next one was Gallade at 80, I think is what it was. So yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Vigoroth was right there.
Straight up.
It was pretty decent. With Eviolite, makes it a little more tanky. And, I'm really happy with my draft overall. Q and I, when we first saw where we were landing in the draft, we're like, no, let's make the exact same team, because I knew she was having Fluttermane. So I have Dragapult guaranteed. So.
And then that got crushed right after turn 1.
that dream died. I forget who picked the second Mon, but Q's second pick got grabbed on the way back up, and I was like, damn it. So I went with the brother in arms, Iron Treads. Also I was another Dawn fan, but it's good.
It is
I
pretty
like it.
cute that y'all got the brothers, you know?
We tried. We tried our best.
Yeah, it was good. Overall, I'm really happy with the draft. I think the only thing that would make it a little better if I had more reliable defensive mons.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm kind of like having Electros and Muck and Grimmsnarl being like the standout tanks.
That's
But
what you got the screens for, you know?
True.
that's
Literally what my note was on this team was, well, first of all, mine was that I have 0 defense too, but then yours was also, there's more defense, but still a little bit, but it's kind of made up from the screens, and offensive fairies do, like a special offensive fairy does look a little bit tough, but you got the Muck, you know, you'd be alright. Muck Volcarona.
You got the Muck.
Yeah, I'm also really excited to grab Gallade and Volcarona again. I had them in the PCT. I haven't really had a chance to have Gallade shine, even though Volcarona did a lot of work in that draft.
True.
In your defense, most coaches haven't had the chance to battle in that either.
That's a good point. So what was the the theory with making Gallade, Serena, and Eel your Terra types? And we got Eric in the chat. What's up, Eric?
So those were actually a kind of a helpful thoughts from my front office. You know, shout out to Q and JV. Thinking about what Terra types and Terra captains, and almost immediately we all agreed Gallade has to be one, and we were going back and forth on the others, but overall I think having Serena be Terra Fire gives me a lot of versatility. It gives it the coverage that it usually doesn't do well against other grass, and it actually lets me hit like ice types more reliably, as well as just overall making it more offensive. I was thinking about making it water instead of fire just to have that defense, but you know, yeah, in my playstyle I usually more hyper offense and everything else, so that's what kind of solidified Serena for me. And with Electros, another mon that I have never used, very similar to Muck. Always wanted to. I hear a lot of great things about it, and I was really excited that I was able to snag it as my electric type. Giving it the steel type for the Terra makes it a little bit more defensive. Like, it gains some weaknesses. What is it? It's
Fighting and
fire. Fighting and fire. But still immune to ground, which is great. And it just gives me a butt ton of resistances. So I think that's going to catch a lot of people off guard. As well, if I want to just keep it mono electric, Terra electric, and just do some damage, you know. Electros isn't always known for the damage, but with Terra electric, it actually stacks up, which is really exciting.
True.
And then I talk about Gallade's Terra typing, choosing Psychic and Steel. The Psychic is really just to boost its Psycho Cut, so Sharpness, Psycho Cut with a Choice Band. Dude, that thing is disgusting, and it kills so many things so quickly. So I'm really excited to get a chance to use this mon. Because like I said, I didn't really get a chance to have it shine in the PCT. And then Terra Steel gives me a really nice defense and offense boost. Also lets me turn my weakness to fairy into a resistance and lets me hit it for super effective, which is really nice. So overall, those were the reasons that I picked those. There are other candidates, like I was thinking if I wanted to make Volcarona my Terra Captain again, or if I was thinking maybe like a fast Lycanroc, but I already used a lot of different typing with Volcarona, and the thing with Volcarona, changing the Terra type is really what had it be like really OP in PCT. So having it be locked into 2 is kind of not as appealing to me.
Fair.
But everything else is pretty much pretty set. Like, I think the 3 that I picked is the best options on my team.
I can see that. Yeah.
I probably agree. Yeah, I know when I was using Iron Treads in a different league, I was like, man, if only I could Terra, this would be insane. So like that was another option, I suppose. But it is pretty expensive Terra Captain up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
The expensiveness of it.
It does kind of set your team a certain way when you're when your top guys get all the points, then you're like, all right, I guess we're going Terra Vigoroth. Yes, that'll sound like a threat.
Terra Ghost, right there.
But Strumful said in the chat, ground types question mark with the face with a little monocle. He's got Iron Treads. That's a ground type. It counts.
I think he meant ground types kind of go in on this team, but we have Ozzy to pressure them. We have Serena to switch in. Electros always switches in as well, so it's they do. This team is pretty pressured by ground types after they lose to Azu, but after that, or before that, we'll be alright.
Makes sense.
We'll be alright.
Cool, but since I have it written down, your speed tiers are 142, 112, 106, 100, 90, 80, 72, 60, 50, 50, 50. So you've heard of 50-50s. Boy, get ready for 50-50-50.
He is going to be a 50-50 king.
You do got that kind of big-ish gap between your first and second Mon, but there's not too many Mons that fit in there, so it kind of makes sense. And then, but they're really good from 112 down to 50, so...
There isn't a lot of mons that can fit in between Dragapult and literally anything else.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. There's not much that can go there to fit out the speed tier anyways, you know?
Yeah, Shay's got 2 of them.
Yeah, my bad. But, yeah, man, we're going to move on next to Seth. Thanks for jumping in, Cahoots.
Of course. Have a great one, guys.
You too.
Have a good one, brother.
Bye.
Okay.
I moved him out just in case.
Yeah. Now, next we have Seth, a.k.a. the Pokemon Professor.
He's the only channel I couldn't find because it changed twice already.
It's the Al Bundy Bisharp. I got him in the paste bin, though. He also has a ridiculously borked team. Like, those first...
Dude, yeah, his top 2 is kind of insane.
First top 2, top 3 is... fucking ridiculous, man. Iron Valiant, Iron Bundle. This man has so much iron. Seth is never going to stand up and feel lightheaded. He's got so much iron in his diet. You know what I'm saying? Like, also, fun fact, he has no steel type, but he has 2 Iron Mons. Does it count? Is it the same? Who knows?
Neither are Terra Steel either. So.
Yeah. His speed tiers go 136, 119, 95, 80, 70, 65, 35, 35, 15. Not bad. He actually has 2 in the 65 slot as well that I missed when I just said that. But not bad speed tiers at all whatsoever. He's got, my notes here say he has no steel type, and then in parentheses I wrote double iron, LOL. He's got good offense, decent defense. He's got good hazards. Some decent synergy going on there. He has only rapid spinners. I don't believe there is any defoggers on his team, so ghost types are going to be pretty much preventing that. But he does have...
There's no defoggers left in the game, to be honest. There's like 3, I think.
I mean, there was at one point, but everybody can't have them, you know? He does have the ghost on Kamala, though, so if you try to spin block, and he might Terra Blast you. Who knows?
Yeah, he might Terra Blast you.
But, yeah, it's hard to look past anything else on his team when his first 2 Mons are that threatening. And then also Dragonite is just such a threat, man. As we've seen in every meta.
What I will say about Dragonite is that the Terra Dragon is a bit different, I'll say. Because Terra Flying and Terra Normal would have been kind of an insane, 1-2 punch. So I'm kind of curious to see how the Terra Dragon works out for him.
Yeah, I think usually that's kind of the standard go-to is Terra Flying and Terra Normal, since it's only flying move now is like special moves, right? Yeah, so you kind of have to run Terra Blast.
Yeah.
But Seth's never been one to go with the grain, you know. He does what he wants. He also, I think, definitely so far has the best defensive cores in Pokemon. So like Quagsire, Garganacl, Arcanine, I guess Pinkerchin? How the fuck do you say that guy's name?
That is kind of wild. He's got Pinkerchin. Didn't even realize that.
Yeah. If you go in double iron, you gotta get you some terrain, I guess. It makes sense.
I guess you kind of do, yeah. I guess it'll help.
But, very strong, very threatening team. I play him week 1. Not looking forward to it. NGL, not looking forward to it.
But out of the first 3 teams, he's got one of the better defensive duos, I guess, in Garganacl and Quagsire. And then Arcanine as well to intimidate some things. So yeah, looking pretty solid. Can you break the Garganacl? That's the question that you're gonna have.
No. Let me just tell you, no.
What do you mean? You got Flutter, man. You'll be fine.
There is also he takes half damage from ghost type attacks.
Yeah, but you're a fairy too.
Oh yeah, never mind. He also has spore support with the electric terrain, so that is a little bit
silly.
What am I? Not counterintuitive. That's not the one, but it's a little counterproductive. But
there it is. That's the one.
Those are both Pokemon you don't really bring to every game, so I don't think it's the biggest deal.
Right.
But yeah, he's got sticky webs. He's got spikes. He's got rocks. I think he doesn't have T-spikes, but it's not the biggest deal. No grounded poison, but he does have one of the few rapid spinners that doesn't care about T-spikes without having to run boots. So,
and
pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure Garganical ignores like T-spikes.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that's also. Oh, he does get T-spikes. Quagsire gets it, right?
Does it?
Pretty sure got everything. I'm pretty sure got everything.
Man, I sure do hate Quagsire.
Also, cannot forget about the free unknown that everybody who doesn't draft 11 Mons gets.
Yeah, a lot of people got some unknowns, that's on the house, you know.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
That's just if you can get it in the game, you can use it. That's what we got. That's what I'll say.
Fucking EA Sports, dude, it's in the game. Now, I think we about covered it. You know, we got the Terras. I didn't talk about my Terras at all, so I got to make sure to talk about other people's Terras. But
facts. We talked about Mamoswine.
Yeah, we talked about fucking poor Mamoswine. He also could have. He has enough points to do Terra on Cricketune, but I guess he just wasn't about it. He said, "Why bother?" You know.
Yeah, he said, "Who cares?"
So we'll see, though. I'm looking forward to seeing him use it. I know he has been such a heck of a player, and this is an interesting team, so I'm excited to see him use it. Next,
just let us know that he's never bringing Cricketune to any battle. That's what I got from that.
Pretty much. Next, we have Razor Claw, and the Galaxy Brain Glycopods. Now, you might look at this team and think there's some stuff out of order. He did make one transaction. He had a Tinkaton, which he dropped for Ampharos, Haunter, and Grumpig. So where the Ampharos is, that's where Tinkaton was. Everything else went in this order. So you might be thinking to yourself, how the fuck did Palafin get to round 4? We don't know.
It just did. The same way Shay got Warring Moon round 2. It just happened.
There was only 6 people, you know? Things just slip through the cracks sometimes. But yeah, he got Gren. How you feeling about those top few months up there, Q?
Gren, Cyclozar, Clodside. If that's the top 3, that's kind of silly. But I think Gren, he being the only Gren user in the entire league across both divisions is kind of cool. Gren, you know, Protean Nerf, yada yada yada. It's still a good Pokemon. You can't knock the fact that Gren's good. And then Cyclozar, he has said, he's very vocal about never running Shed Tail. Let's see if he actually, you know, doesn't lie to us this season. Never run Shed Tail. He said he wants to run Shift Gear Sweeping Cyclozar most of the time, so take notes, opponents of Razor Claw. And then Clodsire, I don't know, that's just, get him at it. Like, he's got Clodsire, wo-chien. Is this Razor Claw or just Lucas? Like, I can't tell the difference. And Corviknight, what the heck? Well, yeah, but still a pretty solid team.
Yeah, he better not run Shed Tail.
Insane.
Not after drafting Clodsire, Corviknight, fucking...
Yeah, imagine he runs Shed Tail into Curse Clodsire. I'm hopefully not giving him ideas, but I'm sure he's thought about this before. He's a very creative builder in draft. This Razor Claw is. When you live in Australia, you kind of have to think outside of the box.
Yeah, you really get to turn other people's worlds upside down, you know, in old Australia.
Something like that.
So let me see what my notes are here for Razor. Good Steel Fairy Dragon. He has no fire type, which might explain why his Sylveon, his wo-chien, and his Ice-Q are all fire types. But at turn 1, he does not have a fire type. So, lead with your moist boys, I guess, versus Razor. Or with your whatever, grass types. He's got good deep. He has the best defensive team so far. Hate it though. Sure. Good hazards, very good defensive synergy, I think, and then his offense with the double water is pretty interesting. I know Gren obviously changes its type, but and I myself am a big fan of double water in draft, so that's the thing as well. But
yeah, it's funny that neither of them are like quote unquote defensive. Palafin can tank a few hits for sure, but yeah, at the start of it, pretty much they're both offensive, which I really like. But you usually go like defensive water, offensive water.
True.
When you go on double water shenanigans.
Now, his speed tiers go 122, 121, 100, 95, 80, 70, 67, 60, 55, 50, and 20. So pretty well balanced all the way across the thing. I think there's a little spot between 121 and 120 where a cheeky guy might be able to run Modest or Adamant over speed boosting nature, but nothing too
No,
crazy.
no.
And Ampharos for the electric type isn't the best, I don't think, but also it's an Ampharos. It was fucking 3 points.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking it up. What is this thing even like? What is it? What's the build? It gets static and plus. Okay, so you're running static. All right.
It should
I
get
don't know.
tail glow.
It really should. It doesn't. But in Generation 2, the tail was glowing after we gave it a special potion.
Mm-hmm.
The only tail move it gets is Dragon Tail. Fun fact for the boys back home.
Wow.
So a bit silly, this Ampharos is, but it's Pokemon. What are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. I do think people are gonna have a hard time. I think to break this team, people are just gonna be going straight setup spam, and he has the unaware, so that's gonna be pretty annoying.
True.
Corviknight also isn't unaware, but it's still kind of unaware most of the time.
Like it.
That dude don't be giving a heck. And then with the ice skew for potential, stopping physical attackers, that could also be pretty annoying. So I think he's got a really well-rounded defensive team, and then he's kind of got Grin and Palafin and, various other things to kind of swoop in and pick you off once you've been whittled down. So I see what he's going for. I do hate it, but it does look pretty threatening.
This makes me reason number 3 why I'm just okay with not being in the Cyber Legend division.
Poison and fire Fairy and fire Sylveon, pretty cool. All of a sudden, Mystical Fire who? Terra Blast Fire is going to be doing some pretty big damage. Wo-chien also with the dark and fire. I know usually they go for more of a defensive Terra, but this man was like, fuck it, I'm doing damage, and I'm having a fire type.
I don't know if he's going to be able to pull that off, but I guess we'll see, right? I mean, Terra Fire, Wo-chien, maybe.
Lucas told him it wasn't going to work, but if there's anyone that can pull it off, it's probably Razor,
It's got base 95 special attack. It's not like terrible, it's not like 30 special attack or anything. So
True.
I mean, it's right there. See how it goes.
Then he's also got the Ice and Fire Ice Skew. Fire for Ice Skew is pretty interesting too. I know a lot of people just would rather status it than break its Ice Face, so he's not a real speedy boy. But
Right.
being a Fire type, all of a sudden, become a Fire type, belly jump up in somebody's face. Now you get a free turn. Sometimes Ice Skew is one of those Pokemon where all you need is one free turn, and you kind of just lose to it. So we'll see
Especially
how that
if you break
goes.
his face. If you break
Hopefully.
his face, it's kind of over.
Yeah,
Did you include that in the speed tier?
I did
don't remember
not.
If I heard. I think it's 117.
It's kind of unnecessarily fast all of a sudden,
Yeah, no, it's the what's it called is really weighing it down. Like, it's
Yeah,
kinda-
there's a lot of ice in that face.
It's actually 130. That man is
130.
speedy. You thought he
That's-
was slower. I thought he was slower.
That's fucking Ice Spectrier, dude, is all that guy is.
It's a good
Then-
Pokemon.
Then he's got Poison, or I keep saying Poison. He's got Ghost and Fighting Haunter. I think that's pretty good, for the points. Not bad at all. Haunter lacking a fighting move always was kind of unfortunate. And if you want it to be like good old-fashioned Gengar with, 2 generations ago where it still had Levitate and Focus Blast, now he kind of has it, So,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Shadow Stitch plays in the chat. What's up, fam?
If you can land those Terra fighting Focus Blast, it's going to be kind of insane.
Well, it doesn't get Focus Blast, so you have to run Terra
you sure?
Blast. It does not. Which is unfortunate, but he had to get up to his third evolution before he could handle the raw power of Focus Blast.
I don't know. I'm looking at Haunter right now on thePokemonShowdown.com, and it says he gets Focus.
It says he gets Focus Blast? That must be new. I swear it didn't always get Focus Blast.
No, he definitely didn't always get Focus
Okay.
Blast, but he's got it today.
Got it. Cool. Well, yeah, now Terra fighting Focus Blast, 70% of the time, might be doing some damage.
Yeah,
Gert
kinda
Bilbo
crazy,
in
yeah.
the chat with the Ice Cube representation. Let's fucking go, dude.
he said I heard Ice Cube was mentioned.
I mean, it snapped into the chat. Yeah, that was Razor's only transaction. What other notes do I have for him here?
I'm curious to see how well he can use Gren, because that's a Pokemon I wanted on my team, but at the end of it, I was like, you know what? I can't afford him. He's too expensive. And then no one took him.
Yeah,
Right.
you can still get him if you
He's there, yeah. I can do it.
if you want to take your points to the pawn shop and maybe trade something in, somebody can still get him.
Oh, for sure.
Not a bad team overall. I do like it, although it's a little on the defensive side for my particular tastes. But it does look like it's going to do pretty well this season. And knowing Razor, he's going to bring some fucking wild shit. So that'll be fun to watch.
He'll run Choice Band Corviknight for sure. one of these days.
It's going to be bulk up Power Trip every week,
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool. Next, we have JV and the Atlanta Vic Teenies. What a guy.
This team is kind of insane.
I'm going to put the thing in the chat. Why don't you talk about it for a second? Oh, you already put it in the chat.
I put it in the chat. I'm a little
Look
fast.
at you go.
Yeah, look at me.
Chien-pao Chi-Yu. We just gotta talk about the fact that he has fucking Chien-pao and Chi-Yu on the same team. He had the audacity that we were in call after the draft, and he was like, "Show him your team. Show him the two you got." I was like, "Bro, look at your own team. What are you pointing my team out? You have the two of the strongest boys. Like, golly gee willikers." Now,
That's true.
as we saw with his original team, there was a bit of a fighting weakness. He originally had Slitherwing, Torkoal, Palossand, and Magnezone, which he traded for Annihilate, Rotom Wash, Mudsdale, and Magneton. So getting rid of some of the fighting weaknesses, throwing some more bulk in there, so he's able to not worry about, Mach Punch just kind of winning games and shit. Yeah, exactly, Gert. How the fuck?
It was there, man. The same way Shay got freaking Fluttermane, Roaring Moon. It was just there. Why not
This
take
is
it?
this is why we say it's an experimental season. 6 people in a pool is pretty freaking bonkers.
What's gonna happen?
Personally, I'm a fan. I think it's fun as hell. But we'll see. Once we're in these battles, once we're trying to find switch-ins to Chi-Yu Chien-pao, maybe we'll be like, this was not a good idea.
I'll always say the best switch into a ruined Pokemon is to sack your current Pokemon.
True, yeah. Sack and then go into your Scarfer is pretty much what
yeah,
you can do.
and hope they're not. Yeah.
But Chien-pao, Chi-Yu, Noivern with the Terra, Annihilate, Magneton with the Terra, Rotom Wash, Screamtail, Swalot with the Terra. Also, as the guy that made these slides, fuck you, Jay, for making me put so many fucking Terras on all
I
these
think
Pokemon.
he's got the most amount of Terras
That was
across both.
so many Terras, dude.
Yeah, five
And-
Terra Captains.
Most people had some repeated types, so I could at least just copy the layer. Every single one of his is different. I had to just import
He's a
every one.
different kind of guy.
I was mad. I was legitimately like, man, fuck this guy the whole time I was doing
Can't be like, I invited this motherfucker to the league.
So Jay is now dropped, and no, I'm just kidding. But I think it's a pretty well-rounded team. Let me see what my notes for him were. His Steel Fairy Dragon isn't anything super crazy. Screamtail, I know, is like super weak, but also insanely annoying to go against. And then
True.
kind of way faster than I would have ever thought,
Yeah, base
his
111.
His Firewater Grass is very good. He's got very good offense. He's got pretty good defense. He's got okay hazards. Only defog. So he's not going to be able to set any hazards if he wants to defog away his own.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's true.
His
Only
team does have good synergy, and he has good speed tiers. Which, speaking of the speed tiers, somebody wrote them down. And it is 135, 123, 111, 100, 90, 86, 80, 70, 55, 45, 35. Very solid speed tiers going all the way down. And yeah, dude, nobody's going to timer, Gert. Everybody better not go to timer, dude. I swear to God.
You go to timer, you're getting kicked.
Yeah, that's the rule. It does. The game might say you won, but at what cost?
That'll be the last time you win in the UPA.
Now he's got Noivern. He took a bit of a different route than I think some people have, especially this season with his big boys. No Terra. He went right into Noivern with the Terra Dragon, Terra Normal. Makes
He
sense.
said they're strong enough. Let's strengthen the weaker guys.
A very speedy Noivern with Stab Boom Burst, especially with like a Choice Specs or a Life Orb or a Silk Scarf or whatever, is gonna be pretty freaking bonkers. Also, chat, if you guys could tell me if the music's too loud, I feel like it's too loud in my own ears, so hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. But Magneton with the Steel and the Grass. Ground types who? As if Analytics Steel Flash Cannon wasn't going to hit hard enough. Now you got that Grass type Terra Blast. So, you Gastrodons, you fucking Quagsires. Not a single heck was given that day, Poison Ground Swalot. I think that was just, he had a point, so he's probably like, fuck it,
Yeah, he was pretty hyped about Swallow.
He was pretty hyped. He's pumped on Swalot, dude.
Yeah, dude. You do not know. Jay and Swallow go hand in hand. I don't understand what is it, but he loves it. It's a good Pokemon to him. Me
All right,
personally,
noted.
I wouldn't, but I don't know. He likes it.
He's got Swalot's kind of just like if Muck had more of a backbone. He's like if Muck sat up straight, kind of.
Like if Muck went to private school.
Yeah, Muck
would
went
be
to
Swalot.
military school.
Yes, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, military school.
He similar with Cahoots. He's got Lorantis with Grass Fire. Once again, Scoville and Who. And Masquerain with the Flying and Ghost, blocking them rapid spinny boys. Pretty cool. Pretty cool team.
Them webs.
I do still think... I think it's going to be tough to... Like, obviously, you can bring Chien-pao and Chi-Yu every week and just nab kills. But just defensively, I think it is going to be tough to... Like, if your opponent has a good fighting type that gets coverage for, for the Annihilapes, for the Noivern, I think it is going to be a little bit tough. But they're just so strong that it probably won't matter,
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a sack war for probably most of his games. He could really use a Revival Blessing Mon, that's for damn sure.
True. I think
Rapsco?
I think Rapsco, spoilers, but I think Rapsco might have went later on in the draft too. But yeah,
I'm looking at it. It looks like it's undrafted, at least in this division.
Maybe it was in another div that I'm thinking of, yeah. But solid team from Jay. I haven't heard from him in the chat. I don't believe he is here, but solid squad.
Be surprised if he was.
And it definitely looks like a him team.
Oh yeah.
It's I think it's a little more offensive than a usual JV team, but it definitely still got some JV in it,
I will say I twisted his arm and kind of forced him to take. He wanted chien-pao, and then I said, just get Chi-Yu as well. And then he's like, he was very adamant on not because it's a big point spender, 18-18. But I convinced him, and he worked with it. He worked around it, and he got it going, I think.
Nice. And he still ended up with all things considered, dropping 18 points twice out the gate. He still ended up with a pretty well-rounded team. So
yeah,
not even bad. Next, we have Hayes with the New Orleans Noivern. Oh, yes, golly. Sir. Look at that logo. Fire as hell.
Hold on. I gotta wait for the stream to catch up. Oh yeah, okay, so the logo on the dock isn't updated. That's what I thought. But that's all good.
Yeah. Cinderace, Great Tusk, Iron Hands, Glamora, Goldango, Terra Hydreigon, Slowbro, Terra Dunsparce, and Jumpluff, and 2 free unknowns. By God, that's the first 2 unknown squad of the whole fucking stream.
This is probably the most top-heavy draft we've seen thus far. But
I think so.
That doesn't mean it's bad. You know what I mean? Like This is the top 3 is insane. Top 4, the top 6 is insane.
top 3, fuck, they're all good. Yeah. His Steel Fairy Dragon, not too shabby. I mean, Goldango fucking Hydreigon is insane. There does not appear to be a fairy.
It is Fairy to Dunsparce.
It's Fairy to Dunsparce. So once again, turn 1, there is not a fairy, but he can make one.
He can make one.
Definitely a very good offensive team. I think it's a little heavy on physical offense, but he also has Goldango and Hydreigon. So I guess it kind of doesn't matter. I guess Glamora also.
Glamora's more of half and half. It's literally half and half.
Once again. Oh no, see, I wrote only Defog, but I forgot Glamora gets Mortal Spin too, so that's not necessarily true.
And so does Great Tusk, so you're kind of silly.
I am just... Oh no, I'm looking at Jay's team actually, my bad. See, actually wrote here was good removal plus the good as gold blocker, which is the best spin blocker in the game. Blocks your rapid spin, blocks your defog, blocks, I think, every fucking status condition.
The only thing you can't block is tidy up. That's the only thing you can't block in terms of getting rid of hazards in front of Goldango.
And then even blocking Leech Seed and all the other shit is just insane, man. I keep discovering more things that ability does over the.
Yeah, I think if it ain't a damaging move, it ain't touching good as gold. That's all. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes.
Pretty much, man. That guy's pretty crazy, and just such a threat too with boosting item. Fucking make it rain. It's insane. Bars.
Goldango looks like a rapper, so it all makes sense.
The speed tiers go 119, 110, 98, 87, 86, 84. Bit of a theme there. 55, 50, and 30. So pretty decent altogether. He does kind of clump together a lot there in kind of the middle speed tiers, but I don't think that should be the biggest deal, And like Cinderace and Hydreigon being able to pivot around. I guess technically Jumpluff, I think, also does that, but I don't know if that's one that comes back to a game a lot, you know?
Jump love, I
Maybe
agree.
once or twice.
I agree. Top 6 is probably. I mean, I'm just bringing top 6 if I'm him. Maybe Slowbro if I need to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But ever since Slowbro lost its pivoting potential, it's kind of fell off.
I do
compared to the
see
King.
there might be some Assault Vest spam on this squad, just because like
Yes.
Slowbro, Great Tusk,
100%.
Iron Hands are so physically defensive. You probably don't even need to like invest most of the time if you have all 3 of those guys. But some AVs definitely would be helpful.
Iron
you
Hands
know?
with an Assault Vest can 1v1 like damn near any Pokemon in the game. It's kind
Which is insane. How you so thick in all the right places, you know? I know we saw Hayes in the chat. Hayes, do you want to join the old stream for a second?
Also, I will say that the the art shows that the Hydreigon is the Terra Captain, but this just in, coming from the front office of New Orleans Noivern, he has changed it into Great Tusk with Terra Ground and Steel.
Ooh, this just in.
This just in, no, quite literally 30 minutes ago.
All right, you heard it here first. This is breaking
So,
news.
Unfortunately for him, he will have to use it week 1 with the Terra Hydreigon. Unfortunately, right? Against Cahoots, but he will be able to change it up in week 2. So good for him.
True. So all in all, I think it's going to be a heck of it. Like prep wise, I don't want to play this team. Like
For sure.
I should have rigged the divisions and put him in a different one. Also Razor, but
I like, you pretty much know what, in terms of like, he's probably bringing like his top 6. You know what I mean? So like you can still prep for those top 6, but it's a good top 6. It's not like, you know what I mean? You're just gonna beat the top 6 because you know they're coming.
yeah, true. And then I also hate team like he U-turn looks pretty spammable versus this team, but then also with Glamore in the back, every like just setting up hazards on your own side of the field sounds incredibly annoying every time you're just trying to get momentum. So
Exactly. You got to run like 7 boots.
but yeah, I don't think we got Hayes in the chat anymore, so we'll just go ahead and move right on. That's the end of this division, right? So we'll go
Yes,
right
sir.
on to the next division with our co-host here, Q, with the Chicago Pulse.
The
Tell us
Honor
about
Rouge division. Oh, dude. So I'm pick number 1. You already know who's getting selected.
Rigged.
The homie Dragapult right there. It's it's good Pokemon. I used it a little bit in a league that I took over for somebody, but didn't really get that much use out of it. I think it was only like 3 or 4 games. So like, you know what? Screw it. I'm doing it again. To no one's surprise. And then the next Pokemon I took was Great Tusk because it's just a good. I saw how well Shay was using it in what was it, the BBR? I think you had it, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm using it too. But it was between that or Iron Treads, right? And Iron Treads is definitely like the better duo with Polt. But the next Pokemon I got was a Steel type, and it was just as good. So I was like, you know what? I'm fine with not having Iron Treads. Give me Great Tusk, give me Scizor, give me another Azu, pretty similar to Cahoots' team, like we said before. Really excited to use Glamora with the T-Spikes potential because I have not seen a whole lot of like Hex Pults running around this generation so far.
Ooh,
but
true.
And now that I get free T-Spikes, who knows? We might be able to just get away with running Hex instead of Shadow Ball.
Nice.
And then Volcarona, just really strong sweeping potential. Wanted another switch in to a Fairy type. I already had 2 of them, but Volcarona is another offensive switch into Fairy types because Fairy types kind of went in on my at least my favorite Pokemon on the team, Dragapult and Great Tusk, And then after that, it was kind of like Shitter Central. We were like, all right, let's fill out some roles. Let's get some Pokemon. I got the homie Arboliva with which gets a Seed Sower ability. So boom, Terrain Gang for Glamora to maybe live an Earthquake through terrain. I don't know. And then the homie Grumpig, per Jay's request, I was like, Jay, what Pokemon do I pick in point number 2? And he looked at Grumpig and he was like, yo, get that thing. And then also Terra Captain it and give it Psychic Fairy. And I was like, all right, you know what? It makes sense. I'll do it.
Gardevoir who?
Gardevoir, Grumpig. And then Grumpig wants to be Gardevoir so bad. And then we got Raichu, also one of the other Terra Captains with Electric and Water. Because I thought it was pretty fast Pokemon. That's kind of the whole reason why I got it. Base 110 speed, kind of needed it. In theory, I know Shay's going to talk about the speed tiers and roast me about it. Because they were pretty bad if I didn't have Raichu. And then also like Terra Water for like, and all of a sudden like my Surf is like hella strong. That's pretty dope, right? Surf and Raichu. No one wants to switch into that except for Quagsire, I guess. And then Honchkrow, kind of needed a Dark type. Also wanted another Flyer because I didn't have one at all. And that was Honchkrow. I don't really think Honchkrow is going to be doing all that much, but it's there,
Even though
I'm
you said
also
its
part of
name,
the-
like
I'm also part of the Ice Cube
Honchkrow?
gang. with Ice Cube, right there. Because who knows? You know what I mean? It's also a Terra Captain. I also forgot about the most important Terra Captain, which is probably going to be the best Terra Captain on my team is Steel Fire Scizor, which is kind of crazy. I use Steel Fire a lot in 3v3s, and it's just so good. It's just so good. So I'm just gonna try it out in draft and see if it works.
Straight up. That was honestly the best part of my BBR team, was just looking at calcs and seeing just how many things died to Terra Steel, Choice Banded, Technician, Bullet Punch. Like,
yeah, that's kind of.
It's so many things. Like, it is insane how many. Like, and again, in such an offensive generation, I think it's very, very nice to have the strongest priority. And you really made sure to have that with Azu and Scizor. Like, nobody's safe, you know.
Hey, don't forget about Sucker Punch Honchkrow, man.
Sucker Punch Honchkrow, Sucker Punch Polt. You know,
E-Speed Raichu. You know what I'm
saying? Does it still get E-Speed?
I hope so.
I think it's like. I know it gets Fake Out still, but I think it might have lost E-Speed.
I don't want to feel silly. It did.
Well, you picked the wrong stream, Buckaroo.
I'm a bit silly here on DJ Quad's channel. It gets Fake Out, which is not as good Extreme Speed.
Yeah. Now, about those speed tiers. You got 142, 110, 100, 87, 86, 80, 71, 65, 50, 50, 39. Not bad at all. Similar situation with Kahoots, where you have the 142 to 110 gap, which is a little bit rough. You might catch a cheeky Adamant or Modest user in that little gap right there.
If the Flutter mains are running Modest, then I'm running Adamant Pult. You know what I'm saying? So that's all good for me.
As a guy with Flutter main, I will be writing that down. No.
I will not be facing you this season. I'm pretty sure I looked at the schedule and we don't fight.
We don't, so just don't make playoffs, and there won't be a chance.
I just won't make finals.
But let me see the notes here I have for you. You got a great Steel Fairy Dragon, good Firewater Grass. You're very good offensively. Your defense isn't that great, but once again, in a more offensive generation, that's not really super important here. Good hazards, good removal, good team synergy, and your speed tiers, aside from that one little gap, are pretty solid. So, good team overall. I'm really excited to see you use... if I get to see you using some Scizor action, I've become a real big Scizor appreciator these past few months.
Oh, yeah,
so,
same. Scizor is so good.
Would like to see those buttons getting clicked. I also would like to see an Ice Cube sweep or two, you know?
I will try to do it in maybe week 3. I don't know who I fight week 3. That's just what I'm declaring. I don't know. Maybe week 3 I'll do it.
I don't know who it is, but whoever it is, it's coming.
Watch out for the cold that is Ice Cube. And I will be nicknaming it Gert, because clearly he's the Ice Cube guy.
Nice. Yeah, Emil who, dude?
Never heard of him.
Also gonna go ahead and drop, even though you're literally in the chat, we'll go ahead and drop your link right there. But yeah, man, you also got the double belly drum core. You know, you got the belly drum penguin, belly drum bunny. I feel like Grumpig should get belly drum just on having a belly. You know, yeah, I think it's the belly is what.
It looks like it could belly drum, and it'd be pretty loud.
But yeah, man. Closing statements.
Watch out for Raichu, dude. That's gonna be the threat for sure.
Oh yeah, brother.
Else. It's Raichu.
All right. Next, we have Talon with the Atlanta Braviaries.
Ooh, also, I will be right back.
Q, not a fan of Talon, as we've seen. That's him leaving chat now. Fluttermane, Iron Hands, wo-chien, Gengar, Quagsire, Bronzong, Noivern, Torkoal, Scovillain, Cryogonal, and the free unknown that everyone gets when they didn't choose 11 mons. So Fluttermane, Iron Hands, out the gate. So strong, dude. Fluttermane, just Oko stuff. Stuff just dies, dude. There's not really a great switch in for it. You gotta spam Assault Vest, you gotta spam Focus Sashes, all that kind of stuff. And Iron Hands, like we were just talking about, being able to just slap on an Assault Vest and live hits that it probably shouldn't, and then Drain Punch its health back, or, you know, hit him with a super effective move or something like that. Such a strong top 2. wo-chien, once again, I think we've heard... I know there's some wo-chien stands in the league. Personally, that ain't me, but I've heard it's pretty nifty. You know? So, we'll see how that goes. We got Gengar with the Ghost and Fighting Terra. So Fluttermane was not enough. He said, Ghost spam, it is time, boys. That Focus Blast is going to be hitting hard as hell. Also, you can just run Terra. If you don't want to miss, if you're feeling you're not feeling ballsy, you can just run your Terra Blast, and that'll be understandable. And then Grass Fire Scovillain. All these people with their grass types, with the Fire Terra. He's got the OG Fire and Grass Terra Scovillain with the Torkoal and the Sun. Not even bad. Now he has the Sun, which means Flutter Mane is going to be either insanely strong or insanely fast, or insanely stronger or insanely faster. So that'll be pretty freaking annoying to switch into and deal with and all that stuff. But he has Iron Hands, no electric terrain, but I guess that's probably not as important, you know?
Iron Hands does not need electric terrain. That man is a threat. And that's also reminds me, thank you for bringing it up, Shay. You said as I was walking away that I'm not a fan of talent, and you're damn right, because he took Iron Hands from me right before I had to pick.
Wow.
Very, very unfortunate. I hate this guy. I hope I, Ice Cube sweep him. But outside of that, the other thing I really want to know about his team, what was he thinking about with Cryogonal? Obviously, it's a rapid spinner, and, base 105 speed, but I gotta know. On the Sun team, what was Cryogonal's purpose? I want to know.
To melt, I think. My notes here, I have that he has a good Steel Fairy Dragon. His Fire Water Grass is decent. I think it's just because his grass type is or no, wo-chien's also a grass type. I don't know what I'm talking about, but
is it now?
He's got an offensive grass type and a defensive grass type, I guess. Good offense. His defense is okay. He's got good hazards as well. Good removal. The synergy between the team looks pretty decent. Nothing too crazy. And the speed tiers go 135, 123, 110, 105, 75, 70, 50, 35, 33, 20. So a little bit of a gap between 105 and 75 there. Not too much of an issue. But it does exist. All in all, I think it's a pretty solid team. A lot of strong, fast boys. And like Bronzong, Iron Hands, Quagsire, wo-chien, even Cryogonal and Noivern at times can be defensive if they need to, as well as Torkoal. So I think he's got a lot of mons that kind of can be offensive and defensive at the same time,
I will say the team probably doesn't rely, but also kind of looks like it relies heavily on the Sun, with especially with Scovillain, obviously, because it's kind of not really doing anything outside of the Sun. But that trio still, Flutter Mane, Torkoal, Scovillain, is kind of strong,
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, brother. I do like the squad. I'm excited to see how he's going to use it. Dropped his link in the chat. Let's see. Next we have the Vancouver Titans, Jack, a.k.a. Gray V. I'll go ahead and drop his link in the chat.
Beat you to it.
Damn it.
Get wrecked, nerd. This is another team that I really like, though. It's got Chi-Yu. Not always, but I've wanted to use Chi-Yu in draft. Only been in a few leagues thus far, but I could have picked it this one, but obviously didn't. But yeah, his team, I think, is probably the best well-rounded team if I had to look at it just as a group.
Mm-hmm.
With Chi-Yu, Goldengo, Quackable is kind of insane. I was looking at I don't want to face Quackable, all right, because I know I have to, but when I'm not looking for, I might just forfeit that match when I have to face Gray because it kind of just wins. It just wins in certain most scenarios. It just needs one Aqua Step and one knockout, and then it gets a free Dragon Dance, and it's kind of crazy.
Bro, Dragon Dance is one thing. You talking Duck Dance, dude? You get Moxie Aqua Step?
He's Duck Dancing. He picked the better Terra Captains with Dragonite. Pretty standard Terra Captain, obviously, but it's
tried and true.
Don't fix it. Could have went with Quackable, make it even stronger. Could have went with Chi-Yu, made it even stronger. But Dragonite's probably just the best reliable one.
And the points just added up so nicely there. 17 and 8, it just makes sense.
That is true, because you only could use 25. And then the other Terra Captain being Jolteon is pretty solid, because Jolteon's kind of bad at just being able to click Thunderbolt and Shadow Ball. I guess Hyper Voice too, if you're feeling frisky. But now it gets Ice Move for those not Landorus's that are running around. You know what I'm saying? So pretty strong Pokemon.
Strong boy, yeah. So, being that fast and not having an immunity that is going to be on everybody's team is pretty nice for him. I totally agree with you. Probably the best well-rounded team. It's just so strong, and he's got his defensive Pokemon in Clodsire and the table. And Jack is known for having an offensive Pokemon that will just be ran defensive as hell and wall you so hard.
Watch out for Fizdef Gardevoir.
Fizdef Gardevoir will be a thing. he'll have Spadef Mousehold or something. It'll be something wacky that Jack will somehow make work. And if you'll there's always a time when you play Jack where you're like, am I about to be embarrassed by a shitter? You know, like, is there
no, literally.
is
Like,
Lorantis gonna 6-0 me? Like, yeah. To go over the notes here, he's got both his cores are very solid, very good offense, good enough defense. His hazards are okay, but his removal is solid with the tidy up, with the rapid spin, with good as gold blocking. Once again,
try
everything
against him, you won't.
Good synergy overall, and his speed tiers are 130, 111, 100, 85, 84, 80, 80, 45, 28, and 20. So a few little gaps there, nothing too crazy, but I think once again, I think you just said it best with very well rounded team, very scary, and with his with Chiyu and Golden Go being his top two, and then even Gardevoir being a thing, Jolteon being a thing, I think he's gonna be fighting a lot of assault vests this season,
Oh, for sure.
But then having Dragonite, Quaquaval stuff, big physical attackers like that, even Mousehold in Lurantis, he's going to use them well, and he's definitely going to take advantage of the way he'll build for him. So, looking forward to seeing him, not looking forward to playing him, for sure.
Because the team can very easily get rid of the Ghost type so that E-Speed D9 can just win, you know what I mean? So it doesn't look like it's going to be too big of an issue for him to get rid of the Ghost.
True. Next, we have Mario B33 with the Happy Valley Hariyamas. Not the Happy Valley Iron Hands, despite what the logo would...
Yeah, I mean, Iron Hand's on the logo, but trust me, he's happy and he's a Hariyama.
Yeah. So, Iron Valiant, Garchomp,
Oh,
Iron Treads,
praise Link again.
Rotom Wash, Surreal Edge, Iron Jugulus. Hey, dude, have less iron, why don't you? Serena, Titan, Haunter, Spidops, and the free unknown. The first thing, I know there's a lot going on, but the first thing that stands out is there's a Titan on this team.
There is a Titan.
I feel like most people would have a different, it's kind of maybe a supporty kind of guy with Titan, but Mario said, fuck it, I'm going mono iron with Titan.
You know what's funny is we're actually taking a look at the rest of the squad. Slowking went undrafted in this division, so it's not like it's not there. You know what I mean?
Damn it.
It's there.
I guess he's got webs. Maybe he's like, fuck it, I'll just drum up, But Iron Valiant,
Snowscape.
Iron Treads, Fake Hydreigon, Surreal Edge, all on the same team. He's got just the sharpest boys imaginable,
That is very true.
Now
that you pointed out.
This is the Edgelord squad. Now Mario, he's a very wholesome family man, unless you get a Snapchat from him at 6:30 in the morning. But he's very wholesome until it's time for the Edgelord squad. He's got some pointy boys. To look at my notes here, he's got good cores, got good offense. He's got okay defense, definitely a more offensive-oriented team, but he does have some defensive pieces. Good hazards, only rapid spin, if I'm not mistaken. So
we're looking at it. Yes.
Only rapid spin. So young ghost types are gonna. If you want hazards versus Mario, just bring a ghost type. They'll stay. But his rapid spinner,
three ghosts.
He does have three ghosts, and his rapid spinner does have access to knockoff, so that is something you got to worry about as well. The synergy seems to be pretty okay, and the speed tiers, by golly, 116, 108, 106, 102, 95, 86, 85, 73, 72, and 35. So a couple little gaps in there, nothing too crazy. I don't think, his team is just so offensive and has so much good setup on it that I think you're going to have a hard time trying to defensively wall his team. It just seems like he's got a lot, Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he brought the steal of the draft 1 point Spidops every single game and just got up webs and just did some things and then let his offensive Pokemon prosper.
Mario in the chat says morning wood. Lol.
Morning log.
Morning log. Is he pooping? Is he? Who knows?
What's he doing?
Firefighting Surreal Edge, looking strong as hell, dude. Bitter Blade with that fire boost is going to be insane. Close combat with a now stab boost.
Terra captain he could have used on this team was Surreal Edge. That thing is insane with Terra.
We're once again seeing a theme of the fire and grass types.
Yeah,
everybody wants to be Scovillain, dude.
Theme of the league.
I think everyone had Scovillain on their team and was like, well, if I can't have it, I'm still gonna.
Yeah, he was definitely high on the radar of everybody. Being taken in the 8th round.
Mm-hmm. Then once again we got the Ghost Fighting Haunter. Makes sense. Well, I now know that he has access to the Focus Blast, so good for him. And then Spidops. with the bug Ghost once again. Block and spin for himself. Pretty cool little guy. You know?
I think Spot Ops is definitely easily. I said it like already. The steal of the draft at one point. That's just such a good team player.
For sure. That's
Role
the ops,
filler.
bro. He's got a lot going on. Yeah, solid team. I like it. And I think it very much is going to fit how Mario plays. So I'm excited to see what he's got going on. I think I've said that about everyone. Just trying to have nice things to say. Like, I'm really excited how they're going to...
A lot of these coaches we're kind of familiar with in terms of their play style and whatnot.
True. I am excited though. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I fucking love the UPA, dude. All the dudes, all the homies we got. It's always a good time. We'll always end up in call playing games together and shit. It's a fun time. It's a nice time with the boys, you know. So next we have Lucas with once again probably the coolest logo I've ever seen. That shit is so cool.
For sure.
Didn't Jay do that one?
Jay did make that logo.
Insane logo. Now,
Worked long and hard on it. Here's Lucas's link in case anybody isn't already subscribed to the homie.
nice. Now we got chien-pao, Palafin, Iron Moth, Gudra, Corviknight, Saucebuck, Annihilate, Mudsdale, Electrode, Stonejourner, and Frostmoth. Shout out to the Moth, dude. Big Moth fan.
2 moths on the team.
Couple moths. He actually had more moths too.
He did have 3 moths. He took one of
He
them off.
originally had Slitherwing, Dashbun, Cyclozar, and Totoscruel, which he traded for Annihilate, Saucebuck, Gudra, and Mudsdale, plus Frostmoth. So if any of the positions look a little bit off, that's why. Now, he does not have a fairy on this team.
Couldn't help but notice.
A little bit tough, just as far as the cores go, but he has Corviknight, so it's not like you're going to want to be locking into Outrage versus him anyways, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
like-
his defense, like all the other fairies were gone, probably. Like there's like 6 of them, like total. So like,
Right.
not everyone's gonna get one.
Locking into Outrage versus him isn't the best idea because he has Corviknight, and then also quite possibly one of the strongest Ice Shards in the game, just waiting for you too. So
true.
not the biggest deal for Lucas, TBH. His Firewater Grass is very good, even though Saucebuck, it exists. It's a guy, you know.
Ironically, his Firewater Grass can exist in his Terra Captain as well, because once again,
True.
Fire Grass, Terra Captain, Iron Moth.
Oh.
So, so don't really have to rely on Saucebuck if you don't want to. But Saucebuck is surprisingly fast for 2 points. That's actually kind of a decent Pokemon. I've used it in like Ranbats a little bit, and it just like can get up a Swords Dance and outspeed some things, and it's kind of crazy.
We do refer to it as the Rambat Goat because sometimes that's just all you need, you know, just fast enough to outspeed, and it'll be like 12 levels higher than everything else. So you just outspeed shit. Pretty cool. But he's definitely got good offense. He's got good defense as well. His hazards are only okay. He only has Defog, if I'm not mistaken. So if he wants to...
Who is his hazards? It's Annihilate, Mudsdale, and Stonejourner, I guess? All rocks?
Iron Moth as well for the T-Spikes.
Oh, true. It does get T-Spikes. That's true.
And yeah, only Defog, so he's probably not going to be spamming hazards as much if he wants to defog them away. But he also has good speed tiers, which are 150, 135, 110,
Sheesh.
100, 190, or not 195, that'd be Electrode. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
95,
So fast.
90, 80, 70, 67, 65, 35. So small gap there towards the bottom, which no one really cares about.
Facts.
So that's fine. But
How does Electrode not get Rapid Spin? Come on,
right?
Freak.
You are the spinniest Pokemon there is.
Yeah, he's a ball of joy.
Very rapid as well. 150 is pretty fucking rapid, all
Pretty
things
fast,
considered.
faster than
So,
Polt. He's not
yeah.
doing much to Polt, but he's faster than him.
And he has the, like you said, the Grass Fire Iron Moth. Seem like 2 solid stabs for that guy. If you want to turn into a grass type and, you know, not worry about that Earthquake, that's definitely going to nuke you otherwise. And then just a strong fire type. Then we have the Steel and Dragon Gudra. Pretty cool. He wants to be his Hisuian brother very
He's
badly.
cosplaying Hisuian Gudra so hard right now with that Terra Captain.
It's that art where it's just wearing a onesie of the other Pokemon, you know?
Yeah. But it's just like a fucking onesie full of pillows.
Now I will
Because
say,
that's just the difference.
being Lucas's friend and seeing him in leagues and stuff, not as bulky of a team as I would have expected.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
really just centered around Corv and Mudsdale, honestly. I guess Stonejourner.
Corv,
can definitely
Mudsdale.
be tankier than it needs to be. Gudra.
Gudra and Frostmoth for the special side. Gudra's pretty thick overall, but very, very thick on the Spidef side. Frostmoth, love him, and he earned my respect because he took, I think, 35% from a Terra normal boom burst from Toxtricity, which is fucking insane.
Wow, that's kind of wild. Yeah,
It's pretty insane. But yeah, cool team. Definitely. I'm proud of the boy for not. You know what though? He didn't use his Filthy Stall Players logo, so I don't think he had it in him. He didn't want to.
No Quag, no Claude, no wo-chien, which is his Gen 9 Claude that he's been loving. So yeah, you know what? I'm proud of Lucas and his character development that we've seen.
He went through the offense arc, you know.
Yeah, this is the Paradise Protocol arc.
Straight up, dude. But yeah, wo-chien, Palafin, Annihilate are just gonna hit so incredibly hard. Every Pokemon, every defensive Pokemon brought to these matchups are gonna have to be Fizdef to deal with those guys. Like, Jesus Christ, man, you're just gonna have to. And then Iron Moth on the Spidef side, or on the special side with the Terra, Gujar with the Terra as well. It's pretty well rounded overall. I like it.
Yeah, pretty good team.
Now, last but not least, we have the Green Bay Yampers with Big Time Brownie. Another Roaring Moon user. You know, this time Roaring Moon only made it to the 6th pick in the draft.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Roaring Moon, Iron Bundle, Houndstone, T-Tar, Screamtail, Fortress, Cinderace, dude. Knacklestack, Rabsca, Go-Goat, and that free-ass Unknown. Let me see, did he have transactions? He didn't have transactions, so this is just the actual order that things were drafted. Cinderace made it all the way down there. Good golly.
Dude, this division specifically did not give a single fuck about the Protean Mons. Because Cinderace went this long, Meowscarada's still on the board, I was about to say Gengar, Greninja's still on the board. They just don't care about it. It's like, nope, they're too expensive, I don't want a starter, I'm going to go with all the other broken Pokemon in the game instead.
Straight up. Now, his Steel Fairy Dragon and his Fire Water Grass Core are pretty solid. That is a Go-Goat that exists.
And it's a Go-Goat.
He's doing his best. But, I mean, Iron Bundle Cinderace is going to be so incredibly hard to switch into.
Facts.
Roaring Moon, obviously very hard to switch into as well with the kind of more defensive... he's got his Fortress and his Screamtail. Just his two little defensive spheres there, you know? two little round boys that can tank some hits. He's definitely got some good hazards. His removal is it's pretty okay. He's got Court Change and then Spin on Fortress.
Right.
Not too bad. Let me see here. The synergy seems to be pretty okay. The speed tiers, though, I do have a bit of an issue with. 136, 119, 119, 111, 68, 61, 45, 40, and 35.
In
now,
his defense, he does have, you know, the T-Tar
yes,
Houndstone core.
that
you know
was,
what I mean, like which is one of the most reliable endgame duo like you could probably get in draft.
The respects will be paid, you know, but
exactly.
Just on paper, it is pretty funny to go from 111 to 68, you know.
True,
but
true.
Yeah, he's got the Sand, which is understandable. He also, you know, Houndstone wins games by the other Pokemon getting sacked, so it does kind of make sense. And then I wonder if you sack a Pokemon, if say you sack 4 Pokemon. You bring one back to life, and then
does it
dies too. I wonder if it.
Thinking?
I wonder if it adds another boost, or if it gets rid of the boost and then adds it again. I don't know. I'm kind of curious.
I know
to
it
see.
caps at 350, right?
Is it? Okay, so it'll be capped out regardless, probably. But yeah, interesting mechanics with those two things. Also, Roaring Moon with the Dark and Flying Terra. Mid says Yahtzee in the chat, so he is banned. Roaring Moon gonna be so strong, dude. I think that's the standard. It's kind of like Dragonite, how most people go normal and flying. I think Dark and Flying is gonna be pretty standard with that guy. Just so strong, dude. Those crunches or throat chops or jaw locks, whatever it's gonna be, are so strong. And then the Acro set with the booster energy, pretty bonkers.
Pretty reliable. Pretty reliable.
And with Iron Bundle hitting on the special side, golly gee willies, dude. Good luck switching in.
As long as he hits, right? He's got to hit.
As long as he hit. It's not Terra. He's either got to hit a pump or run Water Pulse, you know?
He does get Water Pulse, that's true.
He also... I think Brownie might have been playing some OU, because he went full Terra on Knacklestack. You don't need to be Garganackle, but just with that Fairy type on Knacklestack, I bet people have some issues breaking that little guy. That's such a thick boy, Jesus.
I was a little surprised at not being Rock Ghost, but I guess it makes sense. You are the baby Knacklestack, you know what I mean? But I think it actually could show up to a few games and surprise a few people.
For sure. And then Rabska with the bug and poison. I know Rabska is like the other revival blessing mon, but I don't actually know what it does outside of that.
I guess he didn't have a grounded poison, I suppose, is probably his thinking process.
True.
That. I mean,
Good
he has
point.
Fortress you can switch in and spin, but I guess that must be what it was.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And then with spin plus court change, he's probably okay in the hazard game. No defogger, but I don't think you really need it if you got both of those.
Right.
Yeah, pretty solid team. This is a terrifying team, honestly. It's a terrifying team, but it's a terrifying team overall. Just T-Tar, Houndstone are so threatening, and then Roaring Moon in the back. Iron Bundle doesn't even have to be in the back. Just such strong, and then
just sack him off, make Houndstone stronger. You know what I mean? Just sack him off later.
Right.
Who cares if you miss the Hydro Pump?
Pivot-wise, too, with Delibird being able to double turn out of there, Cinderace, Stab, U-turning, Roaring Moon, U-turning, Baton passes from Screamtail, fucking Volt switches from Fortress. It's looking pretty pivoty.
Pretty pitiful.
The knuckle stack value, though, Mid says, you just hate me because you ain't me. You just hate because Yahtzee. TRT77 says, not gonna lie though, I feel like setup tail might end up getting more kills in this team than people think. True, that is one thing I do always forget. It do be setting up. I believe it sets up on both sides too, right? It gets Calm Mind and Bulk Up, if I'm not mistaken.
It also gets screens, which I think it'd be more likely to be bringing screens, because I'm sure there's a few stored power weak teams, but
true, little
it
Screamtail.
does take a while for Screamtail to get going.
Makes sense. I do like the squad though. It's very, very threatening. I'm glad I'm not in this division because this looks horrible.
Really? See, I feel like I'm more comfortable in this division than the Cyberledge division. The Cyberledge division just looks insane.
Yeah, if I gotta play Brownie or I gotta play Razor, I don't know which one I'm more scared of, honestly.
I think the one team in this division I don't want to play is Gray, but that's just because not only is the team broken, but he's also broken.
Yeah, that boy is kind of broken. Yeah, very good team. The more I look at it, the more I like it, honestly. Speed tiers aside, it does look pretty solid. So,
yeah.
Am kind of noticing like a late game Mach Punch does look pretty strong. Luckily, he's got the Houndstone there to not give a single
who
head.
Who should always still be there in the late game.
Yeah.
You know.
I know there's been talk of horses in the back, but puppers in the back, that's also a thing. You know.
Dead dog in the back.
So, that's the end of my notes. I also have the speed tiers here. So, I went ahead and made a little chart of some... I really did try to be as unbiased as possible. I preemptively made a little... made a thing where it was... there's a 3-point value to the Steel Fairy Dragon Core, the Firewater Grass Core, your offense, your defense, your hazards, your removal, the synergy between the two, and your speed tiers. So you could get 1 point, 2 points, 3 points for each thing. I added up everybody's thing, and once again, tried to be as unbiased as possible, and went ahead and labeled them all and put them all into tiers. Again, unbiased.
Unbiased, he says, but I bet he's up there. We'll find out when I see the art. I know I'm late, but how the fuck did Jack get round 4 Dragonite? The same way that, Jay got chien-pao Chi-Yu, the same way, what's his name? Shay got fucking Roaring Moon Fluttermane. It's just the same way freaking Seth got Bundle Valiant. It's just, they were just there. You know what I mean?
Everybody's got some borked squads, dude. But yeah, this is...
Fuck nerds.
This is a joke, by the way. I just wanted real quick. Yeah. I got 69 points and
this is the way.
But
nah, I figured you'd be up there. All jokes aside, I definitely think your team's definitely up there with easily top 3 of the teams, if not the best one.
See, I have it here. I just on the point value, tied for 4th or 5th with Hayes. I put myself first because we go by alphabetical order for sure. That's why. But just sheerly by these rankings.
Oh shit! Look at me. I'm top 3. Hello. How you doing? How the kids?
22 points for Gray on the tiers. I think it makes sense with such a well-rounded team. You know.
Wow. Cahoots with arguably the worst team in the UPA.
And that's the thing. The difference between all these teams is 4 points. So it's not true that any of these teams are bad. It's just that some of these teams are so fucking good. You know?
Cahoots, you may have the worst team in UPA, but you probably have the best team in a different league. You know what I mean? So that's what you
True.
gotta think about.
And it's like it's tough to even say the worst team because it's just like, first of all, you're tied with Jay, and it was funny that Q was guessing it before the thing started. He was like saying that was going to be one of the best
Low
teams.
key, I feel like his team is like pretty. I guess it's like all over the place in terms of synergy, but I think it's still pretty solid. Like,
all these teams are so good. This literally means
yeah.
nothing. It's just funny to look at them like this, honestly. But
yeah, it does make a little bit of sense.
Gray and Razor tied for 22. You know, what are you gonna do? Then you got 21. It's pretty nice.
Right, the only 21 user in the chat.
No big deal. Nice drinking age.
Yep.
Me and Hayes got 20. Lucas, Mario, Seth, Talon, Brownie all got 19. I think I kind of ditched the old alphabetical order by the time I got to those.
Yeah, you're like, fuck it, I don't care anymore.
Then, yeah, Jay and Cahoots at 18. Like I said, none of these are bad. Like, literally, none of these teams. All these teams are so broken. It's kind of insane. But just by the point values, this is what happened. I also didn't really want to have someone else come in and do like power rankings and stuff. I just figured I'll just do it real quick. I literally did this at about 2 o'clock in the morning last night. So
I saw you up at like midnight, and I was gonna hit you up and see what you were doing, but then I was like, you know what? He's probably busy with all this stuff. I don't want to.
I was in here grinding. I was in here with a spooky movie on one screen and with power rankings on the other, just frivolously writing down things.
Also, Cahoots, something you got to remember about power rankings: they never really should be taken all that too seriously, unless you have like a glaring weakness that people are pointing out. Because I've been ranked last in power rankings quite a few times, and I always made playoffs in those leagues anyways. You know
Which is funny. That was your wasn't that your first interaction with Marcus? CB Marcus
That was my very first interaction with CB Marcus. Was him roasting my team.
So funny.
And then it motivated me to make playoffs.
But yeah, man. I guess that's pretty much it. I'm very much looking forward to these battles. I'm looking forward to hanging out with the homies and maybe streaming some battles and call. Maybe
for sure,
talking a little bit of poop with the gang.
There's a fight club for a reason, guys.
True.
Use it.
True. And
if you don't have perms, let somebody know.
You just make sure.
Everyone's got perms.
Yeah, I think that's all my notes here. Cool. Honestly, it was pretty worth it just for this, just for get fuck nerds.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh man. But I think is that the last slide? Yep, that's the last slide. Cool. So that's gonna do it for us. Thank you, Q, for
what is the upload day, Shay, for the people in the back?
Upload days will be on Saturdays. Granted, I know it's a Sunday now, but other leagues are uploading on Friday and Sunday. So we're gonna be nice guys, and we'll stick to Saturdays, even though it's not Pokemon's and Jesus Day, you know.
Got it.
And yeah, so draft analysis can go up immediately after this. I personally will not be doing one because I'm doing this stream, and that kind of counts. But,
I also will not be doing one in unison with my co-commissioner.
And yeah, I think that pretty much does it. You know, I appreciate you joining me and helping out with the moderating and the
managing,
the stream, the managing, and all that fun stuff.
For sure, brother. Thanks
everybody for tuning in and chatting and hanging out with us for about an hour and a half. This is not bad, hour and a half. You know,
that's how long I figured it'd be. Because 12 teams, we talk pretty fast. Yada yada yada.
Yeah, fuck going through slide by slide like mon by mon.
So then I took Roaring Moon, and then guess what? I got Fluttermane, and then
those 4 and 5 hour draft streams were insane. But yeah, everybody like and subscribe. Check out all the rest of the coaches. And here, I'll go ahead and no, I won't actually. I'll just put
in the description down below.
The description is there. There you go. But yeah, that'll do it for us. Peace out.